It is a beautiful fall day. If you saw my last video, we talked all about stink bugs. That video ended up being perfect timing because right after I posted it, they are coming in everywhere and there are thousands of them. Luckily, we've done a lot of work on the house, sealing off all the cracks, and with the new Anderson windows, none of them are getting in the shed, so that's really good. But the bad part is everything else, like our tents, our tool shed, all the wood piles, they're just completely filled with stink bugs. One of the main takeaways from that video is that the best way to get rid of stink bugs is to just seal off the house so that they can't get in the first place, because they can get in some really small cracks, about the thickness of 2 pennies. So looking around here, we had some huge gaps, and the biggest ones we had were in the back, in the front, we had some gaps with the rafters. The reason we didn't fill that in yet is because in the summer, the air could flow through there and it was cooling it off. It was kind of like air conditioning standing in the tool shed. Now that it's stink bug season, that's not gonna work anymore. So Dad started adding in some blocking already, and today we're gonna be finishing that off. Just do some foam just to get all those little spaces. We do want to try to do some stuff with some screens so that we reintroduce some airflow to kind of keep it cool in here. So we're going to be doing some stuff with that, but let's just get started with doing some foam. All right, so our shed is sealed up now and no stink bug should be able to get in there now, so that's good. But just looking around here, this is our whole sawmill area. This big spot where all the dead grass is, this is where our rock wool insulation was. We got all that moved over there closer to the house, and we're gonna be doing stuff with that really soon. But this is gonna be a spot we're gonna be putting our solar kiln and also just a place to put all of these logs. So this is all gonna be ready to go pretty soon. We're really excited to be doing all that. So let's walk over here. So this is where we moved all the rock wool to. A lot of stuff. Yesterday, me and Dad were trying to get to this pile. It was completely overgrown out here, so we had to clear it out. We ended up unstacking the pile, cleaning off every slab of wood and restacking it. And when we restacked it, we organized it by the kind of wood and added some stickers in there so it can continue drying. Now what this is cherry, black walnut, and cedar. It's all from our property. You might remember we had Alan come out and he helped us mill all of this. We had the 80-foot cherry that was rotting from the inside and about to fall in the house. Shannon helped us cut that down and we did a video on that. There's also the walnut that was rotting down in the hollow, and then a cedar that just fell down in a storm. So we were able to save those and put them to use, and we've used them all over the property. We used some wood to build our tool shed, do board and batten siding, and I've also done a bunch of gifts with this, like cutting boards and bracelets and all kinds of things. All right. Here you go.
Oh my God. Did you make this?
I made it.
Oh my goodness. Oh my gosh. Wow.
So this is all
Oh my goodness.
all from our land, all the wood. So this is black walnut, oak, ash, and poplar.
Wow.
But I'm not really that into woodworking. I just graduated with a degree in computer engineering, and woodworking isn't really my hobby, but I do like the idea that I can take a tree that was on my property and turn it into a cool gift for someone. I just got something that I'm really excited about that kind of changes the way I look at this pile and expands what I can do with it. And I'm really excited to show you guys and maybe even use it to make stuff for you. So let's go check it out. This is the xTool D1 Pro Laser Engraver and Cutter. Now I get a lot of companies emailing me and trying to send me products, and I'm very picky about who I reply to. And when I got an email from xTool, I was really excited to reply to them. I've actually been doing laser engraving stuff for a few years. I have a small desktop hobby laser engraver and CNC that I use for all kinds of small projects. And so our dream laser has been the xTool. I've watched videos on it so many times, so I was excited to get this. For those of you who don't know, this is a high-powered laser that's controlled by a computer. And so it can move in 2 axes, and you can use that to engrave something on pretty much anything. So we're using wood, and this is an example of something we did. This is black walnut, and we engraved a little shed onto there. But the part that's really awesome about this laser is it can cut. And when I say it can cut, I mean it can cut. This is 3/4 inch plywood, and it cut this out in one pass. So this is the piece that it came out of, and it just cuts it out. So that is just a complete game changer. My other laser was a fraction of the power of this, and it could just laser engrave, but being able to cut just opens up so many new possibilities. There are just so many ways that this laser is better than my old one. The resolution is incredible on it. It's just so big, so there's so many things that I can engrave on this or cut that I was never able to before. And just the ease of use. On my old one, there was just this whole thing to focus it and get everything adjusted. And this one is just like, you line it up, drop the thing, and it's just focused. And just looking at how these engraves turn out, it engraves so deep in there, and it almost looks 3D. I mean, it is kind of 3D when you're looking at it. And to get results like this on my old one, I would have to go on there and pass over it multiple times to get this. And on this, I can just engrave it one time and it gets it perfect every time. Being able to engrave and cut on this one big machine opens up so many possibilities. I could take a large sheet of wood, put it down, and have it go cut out a bunch of circles for coasters, cut them all out, and then engrave them all at once. And then I could have, like, I don't know, 30 coasters made all at once. So definitely opens up a lot of possibilities for things I could make. It'd be cool to do some kind of fundraiser where I make something with this that I could sell to you guys, or just being able to do gifts and stuff is really cool. In addition to all the things you regularly see laser engraved, like coasters, keychains, that kind of thing, walk into any souvenir store and you're gonna see laser engraved stuff everywhere. But we really want to take advantage of the really big size of this. This is about the size of a cabinet door, so there's all kinds of possibilities for engraving some cool design into something or engraving something that'll go on the wall. One of the things that I've had in mind for a long time is making some kind of plaque or permanent thing that goes in the house that has the names of everyone that supported us on Patreon. I just think it'd be cool to have that and have it be a permanent part of the shed. Definitely let me know if you guys have any cool ideas that you want us to try or any channel recommendations for us to check out. But for right now, I just want to take a few minutes to go over why I like this machine so much, go over some of the basic operations, and tell you why I like this so much better than my old machine. So let's talk a little bit more about laser engraving and cutting. My old system had a 5-watt laser and the xTool is a 40-watt. Just like a light bulb, more wattage is brighter and more powerful. There are 3 main variables in making things using a laser engraver. What material you're using, such as plastic, glass, metal, wood, or even food. We even test printed on a pumpkin pie. The speed the laser is moving, and how much power, or you can think brightness, you're using, typically in percentage power. The laser came with software called xTool Creative Space, which can be used to create artwork from scratch using CAD-like functions for shapes and letters. It can also be used to process a photo into a format that the laser can understand. Each file is essentially chopped up into lines of code. The laser scans, and the power is ramped up and down as it scans across the material. It's a lot like an inkjet printer that's printing line by line. It can also follow a path and modulate curves, lines, and power, similar to signing your signature. While it's been much easier than my DIY laser, it still takes some trial and error with power and speed settings to get it just right. And that's what Dad and I are doing now. We've cut some samples of the cherry, walnut, and cedar, and I've been testing it with several products I have in mind while we've been working on some other shed projects. My goal is to make a few things that some of you might be interested in to bring a piece of our project to your home, and I'll be talking about this more in a couple of weeks.